What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, well, it is finally here. The Riftwatchers for DEC proposal that I have been waiting oh so long for is officially been proposed. This is coming from Yabamat's kind of alt account that he made for doing governance proposals as himself rather than it coming from the team. So nothing surprising or out of the ordinary here. This is exactly what we expected. Even the little twist that Matt had talked about on the town hall of burning the DEC rather than putting it into the DAO was removed, and he actually addressed it here. So I don't want to read this whole thing to you, but I'm just going to go over the quick details of it and let you know that before I even do that, it has already passed the pre-proposal phase, which, if you remember, was, I don't know if it's shortened. I really hope that it is, just because it seems like a waste of time. We already know that this thing is going to pass the pre-proposal, and it's only been 9 hours, probably even less than that when we hit it. But the pre-proposal phase is now, all you have to do is get 5% of the vote. If you can get 5% of SPS stakers to vote in favor of it, then no matter what happens, it will go ahead and it will go into an official vote for the entire community. You'll see it on the website rather than this whole like PeakD, Splex, or wherever you look at your pre-proposals. So let's go ahead and take a look or a dive into this. In case you forgot it, it is to burn or to change, I'm sorry, it is to change the amount or the currency of the token in order to buy Riftwatcher packs. So instead of it being SPS, it would be in DEC, and now it's not going to be $5 worth of DEC. It would be a fixed amount of 5,000 DEC, no matter what the DEC peg price is. So right now we're at about like 750, 760 Splintoshis. So it's at about a 25% discount if you wanted to buy, if this goes live, passes goes live, and if DEC were still to be at that level. But you could also buy your DEC now in advance of this if you wanted to get a 25% reduction on your packs. Again, we don't know if it's going to pass yet, but it has passed the pre-proposal phase. So all DEC tokens spent in purchasing will go to the DAO, and the bonus packs and voucher token requirements would not be changed. So they would all still require a voucher, and you can use vouchers to get extra bonuses, I think at 100, 500, and 2,000 packs. So this proposal aims to send all the DEC to the DAO because the DAO is the entity that is offering these packs for sale, and as such, it should receive the proceeds. If the staked SPS token holders would prefer that DEC be burned, that is fine, but I believe it should be a separate proposal. So I think that this is actually a very good move from Matt, because some people were divided on like the whole, should we burn it, should we not? I actually wanted to go that far. I wanted for us to not just Riftwatchers for DEC to the DAO, but to actually burn it completely, get it out of the ecosystem, so we didn't have to worry about the DAO selling it later or having to do something with it. If we as SPS holders want to burn it, then we can, but I'm sure somebody's going to find a use for it at some point in the future. And I've already talked about it previously, but maybe I'll make a separate video if this does actually get passed, where I think the team could do a lot of, or not a lot, but regular OTC trades with the DAO that we would vote upon in order to get a lot of that DEC out and into a place where the team doesn't have to sell it. But I'm digressing here. So Matt just kind of goes into the reasoning behind it. Again, this is supposed to be a product-backed stablecoin, meaning all of the products available in Splinterlands should be sold for DEC. And I don't want to rehash the whole thing here. I'm not going to read all of this to you, but if you remember when when Riftwatchers was first announced, this was like at the end of 2021. SPS was starting to tank a little bit from its all-time highs, and it didn't have any utility. They wanted to get people excited, so they said they were going to sell it in SPS. They've already said, Matt's already said that probably ended up being a mistake because all the previous versions of this were in DEC, and at that time, they did not have the flywheel concept implemented or even thought of or announced, meaning that they, the whole burning SPS for DEC. Now, my final thought on this, I will remind you that I voted very much against it back in November, which is, it's crazy to think that it's been, 7-8 months since that time. But I voted very much against it. It did not feel right against people who purchased in the pre-sale. Granted, I was one of them, so I was probably doing this emotionally. I can admit that, but I didn't even spend that much. I mean, at least not compared to others. And then to see DEC tank that much, and for there to be a discount like a month or so after the pre-sale went live, just didn't feel right. It didn't sit right with me. And I always say that like that was like the turning point where a lot of folks started to feel really negatively about some of the decisions that were being made. Even for me at that point, like it left a bitter taste in my mouth. Now I understand where Matt was coming from, and I actually think that this is exactly how it should be. And I am totally okay with it. The timing was just the only weird thing. And I know looking at a lot of other folks down here, just in the comments, it's the same for them. So I am very much in favor of this now. It's been more than enough time since that went live. People who did buy Riftwatcher packs at a premium, again, well, one of which was me, right? I did buy packs at a premium, have been able to utilize those cards and get a benefit out of them. But this is something that we need to do for the ecosystem itself. And as a little reminder, and I'll close with this, there's still almost 2 million packs left. It's a little under, I think we've only sold 25,000 so far of like the second million. So it's like, just imagine 2 million packs, 5,000 DEC. That's 10 billion DEC in order to sell out Riftwatchers. So in order to take it off the shelves completely, we would need to lock up 10 billion DEC. And here's the fun fact. There's less than 5 billion in circulation on Hive itself. So we would actually need to start burning a ton of SPS just to get some of that DEC, you know what I'm saying? Just to get that DEC in order to buy the packs. So we don't lose anything out of this from an SPS incentive, meaning that a lot of people were holding onto their SPS. They didn't want to part with their SPS for 2 cents or less than 2 cents. They wanted to wait until SPS was a little bit higher so that they could buy packs and spend less SPS per pack. Well, it's going to be the same concept with the flywheel, where if we do get to peg, right? Well, actually, before we even do that, if you want to go and buy in now, you can get a little bit of a discount. If we do get DEC to stay at peg, we eat through a lot of the supply. You can't go and buy it on the secondary market or just on the marketplace. I'm talking about DEC. You can't go and buy DEC for less than or even at its peg price. You're just going to go and burn some SPS. And hopefully at that point, that would make SPS rise in value, or at least stop bleeding in value. So I'm excited about this. I really hope it passes the official vote. And I think that it's going to come at a great time with land around the corner as well. Because if we can get this to a good spot, if we can get this implemented before land, and again, we don't know when land is coming. I personally am thinking most likely July, just based on how, the narrative has been from the team in the town halls. They're giving themselves until the end of the age. So I think June, like if they were going to get it out in June, I think they'd still be hyping up June. At least that's my thought process. So it feels like July is a safe bet. I trust the team's confidence on this. They seem much more, at peace with their planning and where they're going. So if we can get this active live by the end of June, it would just create another DEC sink that if all of a sudden things start to pick up, we have the infrastructure in place to really eat up all of the DEC, extra DEC that's in the market and that's not even in the market yet. We'd have to burn SPS for it. So should make hopefully for an exciting end of summer, in my opinion, with land, with this, tower defense, and all the other cool stuff they have planned. But that is all I have. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I will catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.